Evening, London. A chill wind whispers through the gaslights, casting flickering shadows. Rain slicks the cobblestones, mirroring the city's unease. Tonight, the fog feels different, heavier, like a shroud. It seeps into your bones, carrying a whisper of danger. My name is Inspector Davies, and this is where my story begins. A frantic knock at my door. A young lad, eyes wide with fear. He thrusts a crumpled note into my hand, his voice a choked whisper. "Please, sir, it's urgent." The note, penned in a shaky hand, bears a single plea: "Help me." No name, no address, just a chilling cry for help. Intuition tells me this is no ordinary night. The fog seems to press closer, urging me towards the unknown. I grab my coat and hat, the lad's terrified face etched in my mind. Tonight we descend into the shadows. The note leads me to a dilapidated building near the Thames. Once grand, now shrouded in neglect, it stands as a testament to forgotten fortunes. The air here is thick with the smell of damp and decay. A single flickering gas lamp illuminates the entrance, its light struggling against the encroaching fog. Inside, the air is heavy with silence. Dust motes dance in the faint light filtering through grimy windows. A grand staircase, once elegant, now creaks ominously with every step. The silence is broken by the sound of my own footsteps, echoing in the vast emptiness. I reach a room at the end of a long, shadowy corridor. The door is slightly ajar, a sliver of light escaping from within. As I push it open, the scent of burnt sandalwood and old books washes over me. It is a library, its shelves lined with leather-bound volumes. And there, in the center of the room, sits a man. He is an imposing figure, shrouded in shadow. His face, half hidden by the brim of his hat, remains unreadable. A single oil lamp casts flickering shadows across the room, obscuring his features further. The silence stretches, punctuated only by the ticking of a grandfather clock in the corner. "Inspector Davies, I presume?" His voice is low and gravelly, a voice accustomed to giving orders, not seeking help. He gestures to a chair opposite him. "Please sit, we have much to discuss." Hesitantly, I comply. His eyes, sharp and calculating, follow my every move. He introduces himself as Mr. Edward Davenport, a man of wealth and influence. He speaks of a stolen artifact, a family heirloom of great value, but his words feel rehearsed, his demeanor too controlled. There's more to this story, I can feel it. And something tells me Mr. Davenport isn't being entirely truthful. The next few days are a blur of dead ends and whispered rumors. I delve into the city's underbelly, following a trail of half-truths and hidden agendas. Every clue leads to another dead end, every witness more tight-lipped than the last. The fog of deception thickens. I encounter a cast of characters, each with their own secrets to protect. There's the beautiful but enigmatic socialite, her eyes holding a flicker of something hidden. The gruff, street-smart informant who speaks in riddles and half-truths. And the ruthless businessman, his cold demeanor hinting at a ruthless ambition. Each encounter leaves me with more questions than answers. Who is telling the truth? And who is playing me like a pawn in their own twisted game? The deeper I delve, the more I realize that this case is about more than just a stolen artifact. It's about power, betrayal, and the lengths people will go to protect their secrets. Days turn into nights as the investigation drags on. The pressure mounts, fueled by the knowledge that somewhere out there, a young lad's life hangs in the balance. The note, the plea for help, becomes my constant companion, a reminder of the stakes. The fog, once a constant presence, begins to lift. But the city feels no less oppressive. The air crackles with tension. Every shadow seems to hold a hidden threat. I can feel time slipping away, and with it, the hope of finding the missing lad alive. Just when I feel like I'm drowning in a sea of dead ends, a breakthrough. A discarded cigarette butt found near the scene of a recent break-in. It's a long shot, but it's all I have. The lab confirms it. The cigarette belongs to our gruff informant. But why would he lead me astray, unless he's not the one pulling the strings? I confront the informant, my frustration simmering beneath the surface. He cracks under pressure, revealing a name. The Raven, a notorious fence, known for his discretion and ruthlessness. He operates in the shadows, a whisper in the night. Finding him won't be easy, but I have an ace up my sleeve. A former acquaintance, now a denizen of the city's underbelly. She owes me a favor, one she's hesitant to repay. But the missing lad's plight sways her. She agrees to lead me to the Raven. The meeting is fraught with danger. The Raven is a dangerous man, his eyes cold and calculating. He denies any involvement, but I see the flicker of recognition in his eyes when I mention the stolen artifact. He knows more than he's letting on. As I press for answers, chaos erupts. Gunfire shatters the night, the alleyway plunged into darkness. A struggle, a desperate scramble for survival. When the smoke clears, the Raven is gone. But he left something behind. A silver locket, clutched tightly in my hand. The locket is exquisite, engraved with the Davenport family crest. Inside, a miniature portrait of a young woman with haunting blue eyes. The same eyes I've seen before. In a photograph of Mr. Davenport's late wife, the pieces begin to fall into place. This is not just about a stolen artifact. It's about love, loss, and a secret that refuses to stay buried. The Raven was a distraction, a red herring designed to lead me astray. The real answers lie with Mr. Davenport and the woman in the locket. I confront Mr. Davenport, the locket clutched in my hand. He crumbles, the carefully constructed facade of the grieving widower shattering. The truth spills out, a torrent of guilt and desperation. The woman in the locket wasn't his wife. She was his lover, a secret he kept hidden from the world. The stolen artifact was his last link to her, a reminder of a love he couldn't have. He hired the Raven to steal it back, to erase any trace of his infidelity. But where does the missing lad fit into all of this? Mr. Davenport claims he doesn't know, but his denials ring hollow. There's something he's not telling me, a piece of the puzzle that still eludes me. The answer comes from an unexpected source, the enigmatic socialite. She arrives at my doorstep, her composure shaken. She reveals that she was the late Mrs. Davenport's confidant, privy to her darkest secrets. Mrs. Davenport knew about her husband's infidelity, and she knew about the missing lad, her husband's illegitimate son. She had been blackmailing him, threatening to expose his secret unless he granted her a hefty sum. But then, Mrs. Davenport died under mysterious circumstances. An accident, it was ruled. But now the socialite has her doubts. She believes Mr. Davenport murdered his wife to silence her, to protect his secret. The pieces click into place. Mr. Davenport, desperate to protect his reputation and his fortune, had his wife killed. And the missing lad, the only other person who could expose him, became a liability. He must have hired someone to silence him too. But who? And where is the lad now? I race against time, my gut churning with dread. The clock is ticking, and I fear the worst. The answer, when it comes, is a punch to the gut. The informant, racked with guilt, leads me to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. This is where he was supposed to deliver the lad. This is where Mr. Davenport's hired muscle was waiting. The warehouse is a scene of chaos, signs of a struggle, a desperate fight for survival. But the lad is gone, vanished without a trace. Despair threatens to consume me, but I push it down. There's still a chance, a sliver of hope. I find a single clue, a torn piece of fabric snagged on a rusty nail. It's from a uniform, the same one worn by the staff at Mr. Davenport's estate. It's a long shot, but it's all I have left. I confront Mr. Davenport at his estate, the evidence laid out before him. He cracks, confessing everything. He hired his loyal butler to dispose of the lad, to tie up loose ends. But the butler, a man of unexpected compassion, couldn't bring himself to harm the boy. He spirited him away to a safe house known only to him. The lad is found, safe and sound. Justice, it seems, has prevailed. But a shadow hangs over this victory. The city, shrouded in the remnants of the fog, feels different now. Darker. The secrets it holds, the whispers in the night, are a chilling reminder that even in the face of justice, some shadows remain. The case is closed, but the questions linger. Can we ever truly escape the darkness that lurks within us all? Or are we destined to be haunted by the shadows of our past? These are questions I continue to grapple with even now as the fog rolls in once more. The story continues. Like, share, and subscribe for more episodes of intrigue and suspense.